Hey, my dear students, how are you? I hope you are well. I am Siddhartha Shekhar Vishwas, Department of English, Matwal Haji Abdul Latif Bhuiya University College. Today, I want to conduct a class on Henry Fielding. You know that in honors third year at Department of English under National University, Henry Fielding's Tom Jones is included in your syllabus. That's why before reading the text, we must know about the author. Now, I want to say something about the author. Henry Fielding, who was born April 22, 1707, Somerset, Lisbon. He is a novelist and playwright who, with Samuel Richardson, is considered a founder of the English novel. Among his major novels are Joseph Andrews in 1742 and Tom Jones in 1749. His early life, Fielding was born of a family that by tradition traced its descent to a branch of the Hesbauk. The first Earl of Denbigh, William Fielding, was a direct ancestor, while Henry's father, Colonel Edmund Fielding, had served under John Churchill, Duke of Marlborough, an early 18th century general with mass bravery and reputation. His mother was a daughter of Sir Henry Gower, a judge of the Queen's Bench, from whom she inherited property at East Stour in Dorset, where the family moved when Fielding was 3 years old. His mother died just before his 11th birthday. His father having married again, Fielding was sent to Eton College, where he laid the foundations of his love of literature and his considerable knowledge of the classics. There he befriended George Lyttelton, who was later to be a statesman and an important patron to him. Leaving school at 17 is quickly a handsome youth. He settled down to the life of a young gentleman of leisure. But 4 years later, after an abortive elopement with an heiress and the production of a play and the Drury Lane Theatre in London, he resumed his classical studies at the University of Leiden in Holland. After 18 months, he had to return home because his father was no longer able to pay him an allowance. Having, as he said, no choice but to be a hackney writer or a hackney postman, he chose the former and set up a playwright in all. He wrote some 25 plays, although his dramatic works haven't held the stage. Their wit cannot be denied. He was essentially a satirist. For instance, the author's thirds, 1730, displays the activities of writers and publishers, while Read Upon Read in 1730 satirizes the injustices of the law and lawyers. His target was often the political corruption of the times. In 1737, he produced at the little theatre in the Haymarket Theatre, London. His historical register for the year 1736, in which the Prime Minister Sir Robert Walpole was represented practically undisguised and mercilessly ridiculed. It was not for the first time. Walpole had suffered from Fielding's fame, and his answer was to push through Parliament and the Licensing Act, by which all new plays had to be approved and licensed by the Lord Chamberlain before production. The passing of this act marked the end of Fielding's career as a playwright. The 30-year-old writer had a wife and 2 children to support, but no source of income. He had married Charlotte Craddock in 1734. At this time, after a successful elopement, the culmination of a 4-year courtship, how much he adored her can be seen from the 2 characters based on her, Sophia Western in Tom Jones and Amelia in the novel of that time. One, the likeness of her as beautiful, high-spirited, generous-minded girl. The other of her as a faithful, must-travel, hard-working wife and mother to restore his fortunes. He began to read for the bar, completing in less than 3 years a course taking 6 or 7. Even while studying, however, he was editing and very largely writing a thrice-weekly newspaper, The Champion or British Mercury, which ran from November 1739 to 1741. This, like of his later journalism, was strongly anti-Jacobite. Maturity. As a barrister, Fielding, who wrote the Western Circuit, a judicial subdivision of England, twice a year, and had little success in 1740. However, as Samuel Richardson published his novel Pamela, or the Pursue Riordan, who tells how a servant girl so impressed her master by resistance to his every effort at seduction that in the end he thought fit to make her his wife. Something new in literature, its success was unparalleled. A group of imitations followed in April 1741. There appeared a parody entitled An Apology for the Life of Mrs. Samela Andrews, satirizing Richardson's sentimentality and Buddhist morality. It was published anonymously, and though Fielding never nicknamed it, Samela was generally accepted as his work in his lifetime, and stylistic evidence support the attribution. He was now a trusted supporter of the government. His reward came in 1788 when he was appointed Justice of the Peace or Magistrate for Westminster and Middlesex, with his own courthouse, which was also his residence in Bow Street in central London. The office carried no salary. Former Bow Street magistrates had made her they could out of the fees paid by persons brought before them, and often out of the bribes. Fielding was a magistrate of a different order, together with his blind half-brother, John Fielding, also a magistrate. he turned an office without honor into one of great dignity and importance and established a new tradition of justice and the suppression of crime in London. Among other things, Fielding strengthened the police force at his disposal by recruiting a small body of able and energetic between the law and the public. Able and energetic thief takers, the Bow Street runners, to improve relation between the law and the public. He started a newspaper, the Covent Garden Journal, in which the following appeared regularly. My dear student, thank you very much.